Hi, this is Mrs. Robertson, and today we're going to do our Math 7 Fraction Practice Unit 2 Study Guide number 1. And this way you can use it to study before the test, which we have tomorrow. And you can use it to help you on Study Guide number 2 if you weren't real sure what to do. Some of you didn't have everything finished, so you need to really pay attention and make sure you know what to do on these problems. All right. Add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Well, this goes back to just our normal problems that were friendly and easy. When you subtract, you add the opposite. The answer is 14. Number 2, add and keep the sign when the signs are alike. Negative 19. Multiply. When the signs are different, you multiply and keep the sign. When the signs are different, the answer is negative. When the signs are alike, the answer is positive. So here we have 9 times negative 7, negative 63. Similar rules. When the signs are alike, the answer is positive. When the signs are different, the answer is negative. The signs are different, so it's going to be negative 4. Are there any questions? Okay, then we're going to do the next problem. This one is very friendly. The denominators are the same. You'll have 12/16. It does say to simplify all answers. These will be worth 2 points. 1 point for work, 1 point for the correct answer. The simplified answer for this one, 3/4. Any questions? This one, we have to find our common denominator. So I'm going to rewrite the problem as 5 3/5 plus 2 1/4. Our common denominator will be 20. 5 times 4 is 20. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 5 is 20. 1 times 5 is 5. You're adding, so you end up getting 17/20. Now don't forget your whole number. Whole number 5 plus whole number 2 gives you the final answer of 7 17/20. Any questions? Number 6. On this problem, I'm just going to do 2 problems at a time. 6 plus 2 2/3, 8 2/3. Now I'm going to subtract 1/6. I have to find a common denominator. It will be a 6. 2/3 will turn into 4/6. 4/6 minus 1/6 is 3/6. Don't forget to bring down your whole number 8. Now you have the problem 8 minus 3/6. 8 3/6 minus 8, and that will give you 3/6, which simplifies to 1/2. Any questions on that problem? In number 8, we're adding. We have to find a common denominator between a 7 and a 14. It will be a 14. Now, 5/7 is 10/14. Okay, so now you have 10/14 plus a negative 9/14. The signs are different. Subtract. 10 minus 9 is 1/14. 10/14 is positive, so the answer is positive 1/14. In this problem, we have to rename our fraction 9. It's going to be 8 6/6. So 8 6/6, which is still 9, minus 6 5/6 gives you the final answer of 2 1/6. Are there any questions? The next problem, that is a negative sign right there, so we're going to add and keep the signs. All right, it is sort of far away, but it is a negative sign. Common denominator is going to be 20, so I have negative 5 4/5 plus a negative 2 3/4. As we said, the common denominator is going to be 20. I think I'll bring this in just a little more. All right. That will be 16/20ths. This will be 15/20ths. 16 plus 15 is 31/20ths. Whole number 5 plus whole number 2 is 7. And don't forget your negative sign. That's an improper fraction, so it's -8 and 11/20ths. Circle your answer. Now, on the test tomorrow, right now it looks like this. I've not seen the answer sheet. Make sure you circle your answer, and if there's a negative, it needs to be inside the circle so I can see it, and that's what I'll be grading, is what's inside the circle. This is going to be -14/5 times 37/9. Now for number 11, this is part of the work that I'm going to be grading. If you did not change them to improper fractions, you will lose your points. So make sure you have it as an improper fraction. There is no shortcut on this problem. You cannot simplify before you multiply. The answer will be negative. 14 times 37 is 126. And 5 times, that is 14 times 37 is not 126. Let's see, 14 times 37, 8. Carry 2, 98, place value 0, 12, carry a 1. Yeah, that's a 518. So you end up with a negative 518 over 45. Then you're going to divide that. 518 divided by 45, it goes into that once. Bring down the 8. 45 will go into that once. And you end up with 23. Do you have 11 and 23/45? A negative 11 and 23/45. Did anyone get that? You did, Sebastian? 2 of you, 3. Okay. Yes, that is the correct answer. Now let's do number 12. In number 12, you're going to have 7/9 times 13/6. That'll be worth points. Now there is no shortcut on this one. 9 times 6 is 54. 7 times 3, 91. And then that equals once. And did you have 37 left over? 1 and 37/54. Any questions? Okay, let's go to problem number 13. On this one, the answer is going to be negative 15 over 49. Don't forget, when you multiply, you'd have to take 7 times 7. Any questions on that? All right, let's go to number 14. Here we're dividing. It's keep, change, flip. 7/16 times the reciprocal of -3/4 is -4/3. I can simplify before I multiply, and you end up with a negative 7/12. Any questions? Number 15, you change it to an improper fraction, and you're going to have 27, or 20 over 7, 27ths, divided by 5 over 1. Keep, change, and the reciprocal is 1/5. Simplify before you multiply, and you end up with the answer 4/7. Any questions? Yes. Oh, I did. There was a negative there, so it's a positive 7/12. Thank you. There is another negative sign there. Tomorrow on the test, I'm going to go through and tell you which ones are negative to make sure you notice, because it seems like when the negative sign is in front of the fraction, when it's the first fraction, they aren't as large as the negative sign in the parentheses, right? So on the test tomorrow, I'll make sure we go over the ones that are negative. Okay, will that be helpful? Because I have done that twice, so I understand what you're saying. All right, it's always good to point those out. We're going to have 22 over 9 divided by negative 19 over 6. Yep, only one negative sign, so the answer will be negative. 22 ninths times 6 over 19, and it's a negative. Simplify before you multiply. 3 divides that twice, 3 times, and you're going to end up with a negative 44 over 57. Any questions on these problems? All right, as you noticed, it's taken less than 10 minutes to do all of these problems. Less than 10 on that page. Now let's go to number 17. These problems are going to be worth 3 points on your test, 1 point for the correct setup, 1 point for the work, and 1 point for the correct answer. Okay, so there are 16 books on the shelf. 3/4 of the books are fiction, and 1/4 of the fiction books are mystery. What fraction of the books are mystery? It's 1/4 of 3/4. So it's going to be 3/4 times 1/4, and the fraction is 3/16 books, or mystery books, or you could put mystery books. Now, if they asked for the number of books, you would take 3/16 times 16, and you would have 3 books that are mystery, but they didn't ask for the number of books. They wanted to know the fraction of the books. Number 18. The Woods family traveled 25 miles in a half an hour. If it is currently 3 p.m. and the family's destination is 225 miles away, at what time will they arrive? Well, I'm going to say, to make it simple, more an easier problem, how far can they go in 1 hour? So I'm going to say 50 miles equals 1 hour. So this is going to be easier. So then you're going to take, how many 50s are in a 225? 225. Now there are several ways of doing this one. It will go into it 4 times. And 25 over 50 equals 4.5 hours. Okay? Now, 4.5 hours from 3 is going to be what? 7:30 p.m. Did everyone get that? All right. Now, I don't care. It's 3 points. You have to show some work. Did everyone show theirs this way? Probably not. Some of you did. So you show your work, your answer, and on this one you need to put PM on it. Okay? Don't just put 7:30 p.m. That will only give you one of your 3 points. Number 19. 6 times 9 is 54. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. So the prime factorization for 54, 2 times 3 to the 3rd power. Any questions? Now, if this was multiple choice and it said 2 times 3 times 9, is 9 a prime number? No, you could not put that down. It has to have only prime numbers. Now, if the exponent's not prime, that's okay, but I don't think you have to worry about that on any of your problems. What is the prime factorization of 72? Show doing your prime factorization. There are several ways. I'm going to start with 2. 2 times 36, 4 times 9, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, So it's 2 to the third power times 3 to the second power. Any questions on that? Prime factorization for 40. Well, 4 times 10. Now, 4 and 10 are not prime numbers. 2 times 2 and 2 times 5. So the prime factorization for 40 is 2 to the third power times 5. Any questions? All right, let's go to the next page. The perimeter. You add all of the sides together. So you're going to have 2 1/2 plus 3 1/8 plus 4 3/4. Common denominator between an 8, a 4, and a 2 is going to be an 8. 4 8 plus 1 8 plus 6 8. Does everyone see how I got my 8s? Don't forget your whole numbers. Okay, 4 8 plus 1 8 is 5 8 plus 6 8 is what? 11 8? 9 and 11 8. That will equal 10 and 3/8 feet. Don't forget your feet, okay? Any questions? Plot the fractions. 1/4 is closer to the 0. Negative 3/8 is going to be in the middle between 0 and -1. Negative 4/8 is in the middle. It's just going to be a little bit closer to the 0. In the middle, just a tiny bit closer. Negative 2 and 5/8 is between negative 2 and negative 3. A little bit closer to the negative 3. Any questions on how to plot your points carefully? And here we do greater than or less than. Common denominator between an 8 and a 9 would be, let's do 72. 8 times 9 is 72. 5 times 9 is 45. 9 times 8 is 72. 8, what did I say? 8 times, okay, that is correct. 9 times 8 is 72. 8 times 7 is 56. So you know this one is smaller. 45 is smaller than 56. Any questions? This one, you got to be careful. When you think of it on a number line, here is 0, here is -1. This is -1/4. This is -3/4. Which one is bigger? -1/4 is bigger, so the point goes to -3/4. When you're plotting on a number line, the number to the left is always the smaller number. Are there any questions? Now, as you can tell, we did each problem, and it took us 18 minutes. You should be able to get the test done in 30 to 40 minutes tomorrow, okay? It's not going to be any longer, and I think the word problems are easier than these word problems. Any questions? Okay, I'm going to give you study guide number 2.